very happy. It looks really good. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got something special today. We're going to be adding some more carbon fiber to the truck. Unfortunately, I couldn't do an install of the steering wheel. I had one of my buddies do it. He's really busy, and he installed my lights and stuff like that, so he was willing to do the steering wheel. So unfortunately, I don't have a video for that, but today I'm going to be doing this install myself. We got a new radio bezel OEM with carbon fiber, the matte carbon fiber on the side, and I ended up getting the ram. I thought it was going to be similar. It looks like maybe more of a decal type thing. I thought it was going to be like the hard letters just painted red, but overall it looks really good. Should match the red stitching and interior. So this I believe is OEM already, but the new feature is on the side over here. Now, instead of the silver that it has inside the truck, it's going to be matte carbon fiber on the side. That's how they should have did it from the factory. I don't know why they ended up putting silver on there. I think it looks kind of tacky and crappy compared to the rest of the interior. But all right, we're gonna do the install today. I don't know how it's gonna go. I hope it'll be easy. I've never obviously done anything like this, so we're gonna film it and see how it goes. All right, so getting into the truck, you can see it has like this brushed silver on here. Would have looked so much better, just honestly, with I guess because the shifter has it also. Don't worry, that'll be changing soon. But now it'll have the matte carbon top, sides. I think it's gonna look really slick. So let's try to remove this thing. I know it's pretty hard to yank on this thing, and honestly that's probably the part I'm pretty worried about, but there is 2 screws under this rubber mat, so let's see if we can pull this out. I guess you kind of just like squeeze it. All right, so it kind of just popped out like that, and then looks like we just have 2 Phillips screws in there. So let me get my drill and take those out. All right, so I ended up using my screwdriver, got the 2 screws out. I want to make sure I don't lose those, so those will go in the cup holder. Now this is the scary part. I think you're supposed to just literally yank it out. It's got clips. Let me take off this thing actually. How do I take this off?
5 hours later.
Like a twist thing? What's happening here? Why is this clicking? I don't know why it's clicking. How did this get in there? Let me try to figure this out. All right, ended up getting that out. So this part is definitely a little sketchy. Let me see if I have it set up right. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. All right, so I believe we just kind of pull it out. Let's give it a go. Ooh. Damn, that is definitely scary. This part's coming out too. Don't know why. This whole thing just literally came out. All right. Damn, there's a lot of shit plugged in over here. All right, so let me show you guys what it looks like from the back. So there's a lot of stuff plugged in. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I don't know why this piece came out, but it's just clips. So I'm gonna try to unplug everything. Probably gonna make a little list, that way the black clip and that white clip go on the bottom. Let me actually put that in my phone right now. That way I don't have to worry about that. And then the up there is the gray one. That's by itself, so that should be easy to put back in. Yeah, so let me write this stuff down. All right, so this one that goes straight to the 12 DC, that one was holding it like kind of hard to get anywhere in here. So this one is basically just push this, you push this down, and then once this piece gets pushed down, you can pull it out. And then this one was pretty easy. This one was just a quick push clip. This white one, I think it's got a little push clip at the bottom. It's hard to do with one hand. I don't want to break anything, so let me unplug it. All right, so I finally got everything removed. Every button's a little different, but they all have like a little push tab. Like, see, this one's like over here. Then this white one is this push tab over here, like pushing back like right back there. But otherwise, I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's pretty easy to figure it out. The big pain in the ass is taking all this stuff off. But I'm gonna bring this inside because obviously I don't want to scratch it or anything. The screen, even though I have a screen protector on it, but I don't want to damage anything. So I'm gonna bring the screen inside, and then we'll go from there. All right. So unfortunately, this piece came off, but I guess it kind of clips on here. So I'm gonna take these clips off, and then I have the new one right there. I'll put them side by side, that way you guys can see it. So let me just remove this real quick. All right, so let's compare the two. There you go. So there's the brushed silver with the screen, and then you can see the one with all the carbon fiber, and then the top, it's more of a decal compared to like the RAM sticking out. I guess it's like an overlay or something, because I mean, you do feel it a little bit, but I don't know. But anyway, so that's the new one. So I'm gonna transfer everything over. So looking at the back of both of these, I mean, it looks definitely an OEM piece. I mean, I'm sure it's from RAM 1500 anyway. So there you go. So looks like basically I just have to take off these bolts, and I guess this bottom one has these really tiny screws I could see in there. That, I hope I have a long screwdriver for that. I should have everything. But let me start with this. I'll start taking these bolts off. There's actually a ton, and then it looks like there's some more bolts behind. Just trying to see how everything kind of comes off. Well, I guess we won't know until we start removing stuff. So let me start taking out these bolts, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I got my little wrench kit. This size is... Where's the size on this thing? I don't know, mine just says an 8. I guess it's an 8. Yeah, whatever. All right, let me start removing bolts. All right, so I removed those screws. It looks like the screen kind of wants to come out, but down here I'm trying to figure out what I got to do. Looks like there's some torque screws here, and then I loosened up those screws down there. Unfortunately, my screwdriver's not long enough, so I can't get them out, but they're loose enough that anything should pop out. So I'm just trying to figure out this bottom part. I mean, there's some clips here. Just trying to figure out how to move this whole thing. I mean, there's some more screws in here too. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get to these that are all the way back there. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm hoping those don't have to be removed. But I'm going to keep playing with it. Let me try to remove these torque screws and see if that actually helps loosen some stuff up. And then we'll go from there. All right, so it was those torque screws holding everything in. So there was one here, one there, one there, one there. I don't know if I needed to take those screws out. I actually didn't, because this thing seems to be popping up now. So I'm going to tighten those screws back down. So don't make that mistake. You don't have to take those screws out. I just wasn't sure. So basically, it's just the bolts that are all over here and these 4 torque screws. So let me tighten those screws before I lose them, and then we'll get to the next step. All right, so once you get those torque screws off and all those bolts, this thing literally just lifts up. And then you got the screen right there. So that was pretty easy. Well, it actually wasn't too bad. Now we're gonna transfer everything to this. And I'm just gonna leave the screen down like that. I'm not even gonna touch it, just hope everything fits. So let me put this down over here. My house is a mess, as you guys see in the last video. I've been, you know, working on stuff. So yeah, let me basically just put this over this. Let's try it. So it should just fit like this. Doing it one hand is rough, but let's see. Boom. There we go, fits perfectly. Everything lines up. I'm just gonna have to push stuff down and line it up a little more, but let me do that real quick. All right, so I had a little hiccup. I put a couple of the torque bolts in. I was wondering why it didn't line up perfectly, and I guess there's these black tabs. I don't know if you can really see it because it's all black. Let me see if I get the light in there. See that tab? It's sticking out, so I didn't line it up correctly. So let me take those bolts off and measure it again. So the best thing to do is basically kind of turn it around, just make sure everything's lined up correctly, and then start putting everything back together. That's what I should have did. All right, so it does take a little small torque screw. You can see it there on my screwdriver. You don't want to go, I mean, drill or impact driver, whatever you want to call it. But you don't want to go too hard. Obviously, I do it very slow and just make sure it kind of goes a little tight. Then I put these 2 bolts back because I want to make sure everything lined up correctly. So I didn't put everything back yet, but this should hold everything. So I kind of want to flip it over and just make sure everything looks good. So let me flip it over real quick. So looks like everything lines up perfect. Once I put the rest of the bolts in, it should push everything back in. No, those tabs are, mine was actually a little bent. I guess when I kind of put the thing, I mean, it could have been bent from factory, maybe just poked out once I released all the pressure, or maybe it was just me when I was, you know, putting the thing back on. So not a big deal. Lines up good. Let me put the rest of the bolts back in, and then it'll be time to install it. All right, so I was going a little crazy. I was like, why do I still have 3 bolts left with 2 holes? And then obviously, duh, this tape was covering one. So just a little tip. So I'm putting everything back together. 2 torque screws in. I still got to put the other 2 over here. Just putting these bolts back, and then, like I said, we'll be ready to install. All right, we're back in the truck. So first piece I'm going to put back on is this. So you can see it does clip in there. That's why it pops out. But let's put this back in. And that's it. Nice, quick, and easy. Just clips on. Get rid of this aux cable to make it easier. I'm going to sit on the passenger side. So I wrote everything down. I mean, everything should be lined up already. So these are the middle. These are the middle ones. These are the bottom. And then this is just the top one. So yeah, I'm gonna need both my hands to do it. So I'm gonna install everything, and then yeah, I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. All right, guys, so let's check it out. So the wheel, matte carbon fiber, and then it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like it matches. I mean, I think with the lighting right now, does look a little off. So when you install it, just make sure you push all the clips in all around. Don't push the screen because you don't want to crack it. So there's just clips all around, and then put the 2 screws back in at the top, and then put the little rubber plate back on. But very happy. It looks really good. Definitely looks good. Definitely adds a nice little character to the truck. So the wheel, and then now we got the mat there, the mat there, red ram. The red ram actually looks pretty good. It looks like it matches the stitching for the most part. Carbon fiber, and then carbon fiber here. And the last thing we're gonna change is this, but you know what? Let me turn on the truck, make sure everything works. I hooked up everything fine, so everything should turn on. Maybe press the button. Yeah, so I guess when you unplug it, it kind of turns itself off. But otherwise, yeah, everything looks good. Turn the truck on. So my aux switch is still working. I don't know what's going on with the screen right now. Alright, the screen's back. Let me test out the AC. I mean, this is all OEM replacements, and plus you're not really messing with the AC system anyway. It's just plastic vents that you're replacing. So yeah, air's coming out on both sides. So yeah, everything's great. Love the way it looks. Gives it a nice little more character. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next video.